You're watching a wide variety of people. Hobbyists, professionals, and business owners who have chosen to fabricate and make repairs on their own with the full line of arc welders from Centure. Since 1937, Centure has provided made-in-USA quality for people in all areas of industry and for the do-it-yourselfers who want the satisfaction of performing their own repairs in metal fabrication. People just like you. This brief video will familiarize you with safe operating procedures, proper setup, and provide tips to help you create strong and attractive welds. Attention to this brief video presentation and careful review of your operator's manual will help to make your welding a safe and satisfying experience. Welding, by its nature, employs heat to fuse metals together. With your Centure arc welder, this intense heat is generated by electricity. Common sense precautions regarding heat and electricity will help avoid accidents which could be serious. The welding circuit is an electrical circuit which generates the heat, and it must not be touched during the welding process. The components of the circuit are the workpiece and any conductive material in contact with it, the ground clamp, and the electrode or welding rod. All normal precautions associated with water and electricity must be observed. Never weld in a damp area, or allow water to contact any part of the welder or work material. The electricity passing from the electrode holder to the work material creates an arc with accompanying rays. Looking directly at these rays without proper protection can cause permanent damage to eyes and burn skin. The helmet provided with your welder or other suitable eye protection with a number 10 lens must be used anytime you are striking an arc. In addition, any bystanders observing the welding process must have a shield or helmet. Skin will experience an effect similar to sunburn if exposed to these rays. Leather gloves protect from the arc rays and also insulate from the heat caused by the welding process. Heated metal during welding creates sparks and produces molten metal, which can burn the operator and persons nearby. Full-length clothing helps avoid welding burns, and flammable materials must be kept away from the work area. Some metals may release toxic fumes during welding, and proper ventilation practices should be observed at all times. A portable chemical-type fire extinguisher must be ready for use at any time. See your owner's manual for a complete list of safety precautions. Now that we have the proper safety equipment on hand, a clean, dry work area and appropriate clothing, let's set up your Centure welder. Setting up your Centure welder is a simple process requiring common hand tools. Close attention to the following demonstration and careful reading of the assembly section in your owner's manual will assure proper operation. Attach the clamp to the ground cable. Insert the cable into the clamp and secure the cable with the locking bolt provided. Plug the ground cable into the front of the welder. Remove the body from the electrode holder by removing the screw on the underside. Insert the cable through the body and attach the cable with the screws provided. Reassemble the electrode holder body. Plug the electrode holder cable into the front of the welder. Check the amperage requirements of your unit and be certain the circuit you are plugging into can handle your unit's electrical needs. If you must use an extension cord to provide power to your welder, use a cord of the same or larger wire size as the unit's power cord. Understanding the electrode or welding rod will help you to select the proper one for your application. The electrode is a rod or wire of electrically conductive metal, coated with a layer of flux material that keeps the weld puddle free from impurities. When welding, electrical current flows through the rod to the grounded metal workpiece. The intense heat of the arc between rod and metal melts the rod. The melting rod joins with the base metal in the workpiece to form a weld bead. Electrodes have uniform markings that indicate the strength of the rod metal. 2 general-purpose rods are commonly used for most applications. Refer to the Electrodes and Their Uses section of your owner's manual for specific information. Remember to experiment on scrap pieces while learning to select the proper electrode and amps for different applications. For effective welding, the surfaces to be joined must be free of dirt, rust, oil, or paint. If possible, clamp the pieces that are to be joined. With the ground clamp on the workpiece or table, turn the power switch on and adjust the amperage selector. Amperage adjustment controls may vary on different models. Thinner metal requires lower amperage. Thicker material means higher amps are necessary. To strike an arc, lower your helmet, scratch the end of the welding rod on the workpiece, much like striking a match, and then quickly raise up about 1/8 inch. If you are continually scratching and losing the arc, check to see that you have bare metal showing on the end of the rod. Continuous scratching may cause slag to build up on the rod end. Simply scrape the end on a rough surface that is not part of the work area before attempting to strike another arc. To lay a weld bead, move downward as the rod is consumed and in the direction you are welding. A solid weld bead requires that the electrode be moved slowly and steadily along the weld seam. Knowing when the arc is just right is a matter of experience. A good arc is accompanied by a crisp, crackling sound similar to bacon frying. Should the rod stick, shut the welder off and wiggle the rod free. Power up and try again. Slag is the byproduct of the rod's coating burning off. It appears as an accumulation of dirty metal scale. The slag should be removed with a hammer or chisel after it is cooled. Because the intense heat produced at the arc sets up strains in the metal joined together, peening the weld by striking it with a hammer not only removes the slag, but relieves the internal strains developed by the heating and cooling process. Whenever beads are to be laid on top of one another, the slag must be cleaned from the first pass before continuing the welding process. Cutting and burning adds versatility to your Centure arc welder. In this process, the heat of the arc is used to melt away the base metal without filling in the crater. A special electrode is available for cutting and burning. When burning holes, hold the electrode perpendicular to the base metal and rotate the arc in a small circle until the metal becomes soft. Pushing the electrode firmly through the metal starts the actual hole. When cutting, the heat of the arc melts away the base metal along the cut line. Start at the edge of the workpiece and work the arc up and down during the cutting operation. The duty cycle listed on your welder is shown as a percentage which translates to what part of a 10-minute cycle the welder is available for continuous use at maximum power. For example, a duty cycle rating of 20% means the unit can be used continuously for 2 minutes out of 10, with the remaining time available to cool the transformers. In normal situations, the duty cycle is not a factor. We have shown you the proper setup, safety procedures, and some tips on welding. Only practice will provide you with mastery of the welding process. Refer to your owner's manual for more detailed information on the particular Century model you have purchased. Models shown in the video may differ from yours. All units are backed by a 5-year limited warranty. Please call our toll-free number if a problem arises that we might diagnose over the phone. Refer to the troubleshooting guide in the owner's manual for common problems that are easily solved. Thank you for purchasing a Century product, and happy welding for many years to come.